This report brought to you by the Richmond Club, where investors and high-growth companies meet.
Thank you, Carrie. Our next presenter is Marcello Leone. He is the CEO, President, and Chairman of the Board for RYU Apparel.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I've learned a lot interesting on the oil segment. I'm going to talk to you today about something a little bit different. Respect Your Universe is a Canadian brand based out of Vancouver, British Columbia. RYU is in the urban athletic category of apparel. It is the one category in the marketplace that continues to see growth over the next 6-7 years. We're going to hit the completion of our third year, so we're still a very young company. And for those of you in the CPG end of the business that have experience with that, building brand is critical. Building a culture, a DNA, and a tribe that resonates with your true, authentic purpose is something that takes a tremendous amount of effort. And if you're lucky to get through those first couple of years, that really establishes whether you get through that beta period and you've been able to pull with a brand. You start to see what we've been able to create. So I'd love to go through with you. I guess I'm going to be dealing with the slides myself. So Respect Your Universe, Canadian-based company. We took that company, we started working on that company in August 2014. I'm not sure if any of you and most of you with your group have seen our management discussion notes on our last quarter and are up to speed or up to date with that. If you're not, our financials are coming out next week, I believe on Monday for our third quarter 2018. Management discussion notes are there. Our balance sheet is clean. We have no debt, which is very rare in a young company like this. And so let me give you a little bit of a look, and I'm about to show you a video that shows you a little bit about our DNA. And even though we're sitting and we're curated amongst the Nikes of the world, the Lululemons of the world, the Under Armours of the world, etc., our DNA and our positioning is completely different than the other guys. We created our own niche called Urban Athletic Apparel, a hybrid between athletic, street, and lifestyle, and a mixture of culture between pop culture, street culture, and athletic culture. Very much where the industry is going in the next 10 to 15 years. So have a little peek here.
Respect Your Universe means to me like strong community, support, love, passion, dedication.
I have to trust, myself and the universe that, things will align in the way in which they have to.
I definitely feel that there is a universe and community that I'm a part of and that's around me.
If you're not enriching someone's life or adding value, then what's the point? I'm just energy, vibrating.
I want to be better. I want every day that I wake up to get stronger.
My universe is all about just being zen. The more you can clear your mind and the more often you can do that, just the more zen you'll be and the more happy you'll be.
Okay, so we're going to move along there. I think the first slide, and I hope you all get a copy of the presentation. If you require one and would like one, we can facilitate. We've discussed a hybrid. Really, when I was positioned, I was originally an investor in Respect Your Universe. My background, my pedigree, just to give you a little bit about my background. We were the first family of fashion in Canada that imported Italian goods directly into Canada. I owned the Gianni Versace franchise for 31 years. I owned the Dolce & Gabbana franchise for over 14 years. I was the first retailer to bring in Prada ready-to-wear men's, women's, accessory shoes. We were probably one of the founders of family luxury apparel company in Canada. Was introduced to the brand, and I really connected with the acronym RYU, Respect Your Universe. And for me, it was really to build a culture and a brand on that very key ingredient that in athletics, we talk about respect and discipline. And then something that we can move a little bit more into our everyday lives, which is a normal human citizen that we believe should be much more respectful in everything that we do on a daily basis. And if I could touch every community that we go into and build a culture based on giving back, connecting people, making an inclusive culture based on philanthropy and trying to change people's perceptions and trying to make ourselves and people in our group a little bit nicer. That was the purpose of building the brand based on respect. Today, we are recognized as one of the 2 top new brands in the athletic space, and the pull that we're getting is based on not that we went out and engaged a number of high-paying athletes and tried to push Respect Your Universe, but organically building community in everywhere we go and trying to build the purpose of respect. Achievements to date: when we took over the company in 2014, and when you read the management discussion notes, you'll look at an area where you look at retained losses. I like to look at an early stage business like this as investment. And when we took it over in 2014, that's when I incorporated in British Columbia, opened up the head office in Vancouver. We were nominated in our first year. We did $1.4 million in revenue. We baited with 1 store in Vancouver. We won the WGSN Futures Award, which is the best retail store in the world. We were up against Topshop and Primark. I don't know if you're familiar with those brands, but they're both multi-billion-dollar companies. We then opened up our 3rd location in 2017. Our year end ended again. We held and baited for 26 months with 27 SKUs, never put our products on sale, and continued to see if our brand and our products were innovative enough in order to get the pull. We generated $3.1 million in revenue in 2017. 2018, by the end of, by the 10th of November, we will have opened our 9th store, 3 stores in the United States and 6 stores in Canada. And I'll speak a little bit more about that near the end. Leadership team, when you combine all the people that you have on this sheet, you've got well over 100 years of retail experience, brand building. And the numbers speak for themselves, because in this industry, you better be a great operator, and the operations show on your financials in a couple of very clear lines. And this is an industry that you better have the right leadership team and brain trust in order to be in this space. Vancouver, Canada is obviously an apparel design and innovation hub. I never forget 25 years ago, as I was in the retail business, and I saw a lot of Canadian brands trying to get into the United States, and everyone used to say, "Oh, you're from Canada. No one really wants Canadian products." Didn't really make a big impact in the global landscape. Today, in the United States, 35% of all leasable square footage is retained by Canadian brands. Vancouver, Lululemon, Arc'teryx, MEC, Aritzia, Reigning Champ, and Herschel. I'm sure many of you have seen these brands on the street. You probably have owned them. You probably have kids and brothers and sisters. Very, very iconic, legacy-lasting brands from British Columbia. Therefore, a hub of brain trust that you don't get anywhere else, except really Vancouver, Toronto are really the 2 hubs where you get that kind of brain trust. BC has more than 100 apparel companies headquartered within it, employing 7,000 people. Community is a fashion-conscious and wellness-minded environment. Big city living combined with world-class outdoor terrain provide a true dine. I'm going to leave that to the slides. We have a structural global shift towards a more active and healthy lifestyle. It's fueling, obviously, the growth in the athletic apparel industry. I think we're all more conscious about innovative health and wellness. I think we all want to live longer. I think the definition of an athlete, when we did all of our focus groups, anybody who goes for a walk or anybody that goes for a bike ride or goes for a hike represents easily 90% of the people that are athletes. Yes. And I would say that probably 75% of those people will never go into a gym as well. So we are an active society today, and we want to stay healthy. The global market, again, this is the one category, and we've seen a complete change in the landscape in retail. And don't be scared what you saw and you hear in the media when you see some of these legacy retailers that did not innovate, and they're no longer having a presence in the marketplace. That shouldn't scare you. You have to be looking for the emerging brands that are going to be the next innovators for the next 30 years. And those are the ones that are winning today. And the ones that never changed and didn't innovate, you're seeing what's happening in the retail landscape. So that's natural attrition, and it has to happen. With our company, we focus on product, obviously, culture, and community. Culture is very, very important to have a brand that has a purpose of respect. And in order to get that message across and be relevant in the communities that we are having our experiential retail hubs in, you better have innovative product. We own 22 independent patents, design patents, and product patents, so that we could carve our space in a crowded niche. Community, experiential connections, what does that mean? It means that out of our 9 locations, 4 locations have gyms. We encourage everybody in the community, whether you're a trainer, a philanthropist, whether you're a nutritionist, whether you're someone that's speaking, let's use November for mental health, we speak, and we try to use our retail hubs where people in the community can come, talk, meet, work out with some of the top trainers that they can't get to their gyms or their facilities because the costs may be too expensive. And we offer those experiences in our stores. We charge nothing. It's fully inclusive. We ask nothing in return. It gives us a platform to become an experiential retailer. And in today's presence in retail, if you're not experiential and you don't have a purpose, you shouldn't be in the retail business at all. Here's a little video on some of the product that we have to just give you a snapshot.
Made with purpose is not a tagline or a catchphrase. It's our line in the sand, responsible for the most disruptive product innovations in the industry. Bags that let you do more while carrying less. Tri-layer waistbands that never ride up or slip down. Revolutionary lay flat hoods. Permanent odor control. And game-changing sweats that are dress code approved. Performance fabrics. Tailored fit. Patented technology. We didn't intend to change the industry. That's just what happened. Urban athletic apparel by RYU. Built to train, engineered to move, designed for your universe.
Some of those items that we showed are some of our proprietary products and patents that we have. So we do have a location here in Toronto on Queen Street West, and we have our second location opening up at Sherway Gardens in the next 10 days. Love you to take a look online, but worth taking a look in store to see how the product is made. Most of the product is made 25% in Canada, about 15% in the United States, and the rest in Southeast Asia. We obviously we are only as respected as our peers in the industry view us. We are represented as one of the better Canadian sportswear brands that wants to respect your universe, which is all about our purpose and our journey. We've been voted one of the best workout and training gear of fall 2017. A number of mentions as best women's travel apparel accessories. Voted 2 years in a row as the best new backpack in the world by Carryology, which is a leading influencer out of Australia that identifies the best new products and classifications. We have 6 milestones that we focus on in order to get to success. We have a very methodical store opening projection. We look at very specific geographic expansion in urban areas. We are expanding our categories. Community engagement is critical. Just to give you an idea on community engagement, we've been open for over 1,000 days, and we've activated over 3,200 activations in store. Increasing gross margins are critical, and improving our expense by deleveraging as we continue to grow is something that we're conscious of as well. But the investment in building a brand and being in this sector and being bricks and clicks requires a significant amount of investment. We're forecasting to open by the end of 2022 29 stores. Runway We've got, so you can see here, 2015 was 1 month. We had 1 store, 300,000. 2016, we did $1.4 million in revenue. 2017, we did $3 million in revenue. Again, that was 26 months, no new SKUs, the same product for 26 months on our hero items, and never putting our product on sale. Cumulative revenue of approximately $4.5 million. The comparables that we have are only 2 that are iconic brands in the marketplace. One was from Vancouver, Lululemon, one is Under Armour, Kevin Plank. It took Kevin Plank 5 years to generate $1 million in revenue. Today, 24 years later, they're doing $4.5 billion. Chip, Lululemon, and friend of ours from the Vancouver community, it took him in his first 3 years, they generated $2.6 million in top line revenue. 24 years later, they're doing $2.4 billion. Everyone starts at ground zero. Runway for 2018 is $6.4 million. Runway for 2022 is 29 stores and $133 million in top line revenue. Our growth is methodical. We're very conservative in our approach. And if the brand takes off in any way whatsoever, and I'll give you an example, Supreme, I don't know if many of you know Supreme, they just received a $500 million investment from the Carlyle Group. Been a brand for almost 26 years, skateboard culture, went mainstream 3 years ago, and now is probably the most legacy iconic brand in the marketplace. Took them 20 years. Today's day and age, it's going to take anywhere between 6 and 8 years if you're doing it right and you're banging on. So we're 4 years into that cycle. Geographic expansion, Vancouver, a number of geographic locations in the United States. International market, we're negotiating and discussing with international partners. We're owning and focusing all in North America and joint venture partnering in the international market. Category expansions, now you're going to start to see into 2019, 2020, an expansion into beachwear, underwear, lifestyle and streetwear, outerwear and footwear, something that we were unable to do in our early beta days. Community engagement, we discussed, most important part of our business, giving back, and obviously you want to make money so that you can give back even more. Stable to increasing gross margins. If you take a look at 18 and 17, and you're about to take a look at third quarter next week, if you're interested, our margins continue, net margin continues to grow, revenue continues to grow, the pull is getting stronger. This is just an example of some of the off-site events that we do. That just gives you, that happens 3 times a day at every location that we have in North America. Milestones, improve the expense deleverage, as we discussed earlier. Inflection point on our tracking is going to be around 2020, and that's where she really starts to turn. Gives you a very clear snapshot on where we're going. One of the top experiential brands, when you take a look at Position to Win, those are the brands that are making a difference today. I'm sure you're familiar with them. And anything that's outside of the unique and experiential grid is having a tough time or will no longer exist in the marketplace. Integrated retail approach, bricks and clicks. So we're a digital first company. Today about 16% of our total revenue is online. We're forecasting about 30% within the next 18 months. We've been recognized for a number of awards. You know, sometimes time moves so quickly and you look at this, but when I take a peek at this, these are awards that many companies would only aspire to try and win one. We've been blessed to be able to win a number, and we're definitely making an impact in the marketplace. And so there is also a financial forecast, shows you revenue, positive EBITDA when we hit that, total assets that are sitting on the books, etc. So it gives you a pretty good snapshot. 52-week price chart. We have a market cap today. Our stock's trading at 14 cents. Capital structure has 457 million shares outstanding and a market cap of approximately 70 million. People ask me, why did you leave the capital structure the way it was? Because we wanted to do something differently that most other people wouldn't do, which was all of those shareholders that put their money in. We wanted them to win, so we had respect for them, and we weren't going to do the typical, perhaps, restructure, consolidation, etc. So we believe in executing the business, and as the business gains, the market cap will represent where we should be. And on a runway of approximately 5.5–6 million with the 12x on top line, that's where we should be with zero blue sky and zero runway for 2019. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to. There's lots of investor takeaways. I hope I've answered them, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. And thank you for your time.
This report brought to you by the Richmond Club, where investors and high-growth companies meet.